Are we getting dumber as guitar players? Let's explore. Hey, it's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
We're here to talk about how dumb we might all be getting.
Pretty dumb.
And why it's, well, so this sort of spawned, some of our states in this country now, they've lowered the standards for graduating high school. You don't really have to read.
Yes.
That's sort of considered a little bit above the grade, or like do math.
Yeah.
Good, or so I was like, man, that's the same as our guitar. Like do we listen to the greats anymore?
Maybe not.
Do we try to emulate like the hardest songs ever recorded?
Definitely not.
In the same way. So I thought it'd be sort of fun to explore, but then has this happened before as well in time? The same conversation happened?
I don't want to admit it, but probably so. Yeah.
So right now we live sort of in a golden age of music. I think we do, as far as like the availability, what you can get out there. You can get it at any time on your phone, any time on your device, any time on your computer, streamed directly to your brain soon enough, thanks to Elon Musk. Plugged right into our heads.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like we have all the knowledge of the universe in our pocket, and you know, what's the thing? People watch cat videos instead. So I mean, it's the kind of the same thing with music, right? Like you could listen to literally all the great composers, all the amazing songwriters of the 60s, 70s, 50s, whatever. And you know, we'd rather listen to the Applebee song on TikTok.
Yeah, sometimes you just want bubblegum.
No, and I don't even mean like, I say us, I don't necessarily even mean like, probably if you're watching this, you probably do listen to what we consider good music. But I'm just talking about the average, like, because I think about my wife and like her standards for music, and she's all plugged into TikTok because she does social media for some companies. And yeah, she's like, oh, you know, she loves the TikTok music stuff, but that's sort of her standard for a
That's
catchy
not our
song.
standard, because we're old men that are angry and like to complain and yell at the sky.
Clouds.
No, but it is like,
clouds.
I remember like, God, it was then, and I still feel like it's now with a lot of young people I've met that are really into it. Like there's the top that you need, like Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, and Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
Like sort of like making sure you have those guys. You know, we can't obviously copy what they play, but have them.
Or can we? A poor copy, but a copy nonetheless. It's fine.
But we were laughing earlier in the shop. Like, when was the last time you heard "Stairway to Heaven"? I mean, anybody try to play it in the shop?
Yeah, no, I don't ever hear it in the shop. I was just thinking the other night, I was playing a gig and the dude played All Along the Watchtower, and so when the thing came, I played the "Stairway to Heaven" solo.
Damn.
And then we played some "Stairway to Heaven," and it was people
that's a
were
good
like,
mashup.
"Oh my god!" But yeah, because you don't ever because for a while like everyone hated it and it was so cliche. But now some of those songs that were sort of like you can't do the forbidden riff, now you could do them again, and it's sort of refreshing because no one does them.
Now, to make the point of that we are the old, strange, sad white men that are yelling about this, this same conversation, as Derek brought up earlier, happened years ago.
Oh yeah.
With these old rock and rollers in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. Like, what? Why is no one playing the old, like, great stuff of Chet Atkins and Merle Travis and Doc Watson, and no one's playing this anymore. No one's playing, you know, the Lawrence Welk Show. That's where all the best music is. Forget Hee Haw.
Hee Haw is amazing.
Hee Haw is amazing.
Just the music, God. There's a weird thing though, right? Like, you know, that stuff kind of went the way we're talking about. Like in the 70s or late 60s, people started playing like fuzzed out guitar tones and all that cool stuff. No one's doing Chet Atkins style. But there are still people who do amazing Chet Atkins style.
Like Tim Henson.
And like Tim Henson. Like Tim Henson.
He is like a modern day Chet Atkins in a strange way.
He is, sort of. What he
It's
does
very
is more
niched.
akin to sort of that than some of the, like, you know, David Gilmour, Eddie Van Halen stuff. You know. But I mean, I'm just saying there's because we have this crazy internet and we have all this underground places to listen to music, there are dudes who do the Chet Atkins stuff and have, I'd say, taken it to the next level. You know what I mean?
But that is also it's not like that's not full on mainstream. Let's look at the younger guys like Sean that works with us.
Yeah.
Like he's smart, and even though he's an old soul, he was sort of saying like a lot of people he knows, like none of the guitar players he knows that are his age, like they're trying to copy these guys. They're trying to sort of just make sounds, and that's more like the thing they're going for, is like getting this cool sound, not like being able to do this technique or copy this song that was played years ago.
Yeah, but true. And I think that is true. I think there are a lot of people trying to do these soundscapes. And I think some of it you can look at and be like, oh, people are lazy. They don't want to take the time to learn the right way or blah, 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 and more. But some of that, it's still what they've heard. Because whether they know it or not, they grew up hearing these like computer-generated like synth things. And so they're like, we're going to do that on the guitar. So, I mean, it's still you're still a little bit, you're kind of a little bit captive to what has been like put into the computer. You know.
No, and I applaud soundscapes. Like some of my favorite artists are all from the sad, cold lands of Iceland, like from Sigur Rós, Bjork. I love like what Sigur Rós does with guitar.
I love how much you love Bjork.
I'm still planning on leaving my wife
Always.
for it. One day.
God.
Bjork, if you ever watch one of these, just let you have a true diehard fan in North Carolina.
It's true.
I feel like we would have just a great energy together. We could just like walk barefoot in the foothills of your beautiful country. And I just want to talk about music and just like in art and in the sky. That'd be great. Anyway, just the sky. What's above
There you
us? I would get lost in that. And
a great aside today. You know what Baxter fantasizes about. Oh, we're not doing this. It all centers around Bjork.
it all comes crashing back down. Like, oh yeah, guitars.
Oh yeah.
This is where I live in this great toy shop. No, but it's sort of there's good. That's the positive, and I like to always be net positive. But we are losing something. I feel like too, and I love it when I hear like these young guitar players come in and they're working on these great classic riffs that take time.
Yeah.
To learn and they put their own spin on it after I hear them, like, you know, like Corbin, even like watching him come up in a classic rock sort of setting and then really start to do his own thing now. It
is funny when he got excited about that. He's one of my students, right? And you know, he kind of coasted along there for a while and kind of played and was into things and wanted to play, you know, power chords and stuff. But then somehow he got bit by the Eric Johnson bug and he was like, I'm going to be Eric Johnson. And you know, it took a while, and for a while it sounded but he just kept doing it and he was so excited about it, right? And now he's a really good player. Like I mean, obviously there's some experience there that he'll get as he gets older because he's still, you know, barely in high school. But
like milking a cow, you just get better at it.
That's
the
right.
more you do it. Kissing ladies.
That's
that too, the more you do it. Speaking of that, I'm gonna have to go see the Paw Patrol movie, I think, this week.
You probably are. I think I'm gonna dodge that one.
Yeah, I think you dodged it. My friend Z had to go take his kids, I think. I think my kids, we drove by the movie theater and they saw it in the poster. I was like, dog, never.
See what that Mayor Humdinger's up to.
I could still say that it got taken down, maybe. We'll see.
Guys, they canceled it, sorry.
Yeah, it's been canceled. Paw Patrol is canceled, actually. They said something offensive. Do you remember when they were trying to cancel Paw Patrol for a minute during like the whole beginning of the plague era?
Yeah, because they were like,
they're police dogs.
Cops and first responder stuff, yeah.
The canceled Paw Patrol, that's one of the most depraved moments in human history.
And that kid's a billionaire. I mean, we all know a billionaire. I mean, he's got to be.
He's got like Ryder?
Yeah, he's got to be a billionaire. I mean, he's got all those crazy little.
Or Ryder's just a puppet of the government industries behind him that spend billions on.
There's a lot we can unravel here.
So let us know your thoughts on if this whole thing's unraveled or if we actually have like a new sort of thing's about to burst open. I still think a new thing's going to burst from the COVID times of all the new players that came in. I think we're going to have a bunch of new punk. I'm
going to say, I'm normally not the positive one, but I'm going to say we got new things bursting. And I think there's so many guys out there, kids. I guess I'm getting old because I think of people who are like in their 20s and 30s old as kids. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many great players out there who are doing that stuff and doing amazing things. I mean, I just think about this slide sort of renaissance I feel like we're in. Everybody playing slide guitar. Yeah, that's fine. We're fine.
Greta Van Zeppelin.
Greta
all the way.
Van Zepp. Drinks.
Greta Van Halen.
Yeah.
It's a great smash up. Yeah.
Greta Van Halen.
Just let us know your thoughts. And thanks again for taking the time to join us. Have a merry old day with us. And click like, subscribe.
And the bell.
Peace be with you all.
The bell-like tones.